Welcome back, guys. So in today's episode, I'll be building a snooker pool triangle out of some bed slats as well as a cue rack from the same material. This is going to be part of the Summer 21 challenge hosted by Vic from Down Under Woodwork, Australia. So the first step of action is to cut the pieces on the table saw. And after that, I'll be using the miter saw to chop it into rough dimensions. The next step of action is to glue up two of the pieces together. Now this is going to be the top part of the cue rack. So for that, I'm using some wood glue and CA glue to hold it in place. Now I'm marking the positions where the holes of the cue rack would be, and these are the holes in which the cues will actually sit in. The one on the top, which you see over here, is the one which is actually at the bottom of the cue rack, and the one towards the camera is going to be the top part of the cue rack. So using a drill press, I drilled out the holes for the bottom part, which was 35 mm. And for the top part of the cue rack, I switched my 35 mm Forstner bit to a 25 mm one and drilled through both the layers. So next, for the bottom part of the cue rack, I'm going to sandwich that with the other layer of the timber which I had cut previously. And now you can see what I was trying to do. That is, the bottom part holds the cue rack and the top part is just a support for it. And then using a round over bit on my handheld router, I routed out all the edges and smoothened it. And then to get inside the circle, I wrapped some 180 grit and 220 grit sandpaper on a dowel and sanded the edges smooth. Now next, what you're seeing me do is pre-drilling holes on the side of it, and this is going to be the fixing points onto the ball or the cupboard at its end destination. Now let's work on the triangle part. So for the triangle part, I fitted an auxiliary fence on my miter saw. And then I changed the angle to 30 degrees and then started chopping it into rough pieces. The idea of a triangle, as you know, is 180 degrees, so each angle should be like 30 degrees to each other, so that at one corner it'll be 30 plus 30, 60, and 60 times 3 is 180. If anyone's interested, the length of these pieces are 32 centimeters. Now, so that I get a proper fixing, I'm going to create a half lap joint, but this half lap joint is going to be a compound miter angle. That is, it'll be 30 degrees on the side as well as 30 degrees longitudinally. So for that, I tilted my miter saw sideways to 30 degrees, and then I also set the stop block so that it doesn't go fully through the material. Now that we got a 30-degree angle on this side, the idea is to create everything at exactly 32 centimeters. So for that, I clamped it all tightly in place and then used the miter saw again to get that bevel. Now with that done, it's time to assemble it. So here I'm doing a quick dry fit to make sure that it all joins together. And you can see the joints are kind of tight at the back and relatively okay in the front. If I had to do it again, I probably would not have routed the edges initially. Glue up is pretty straightforward. It's just regular wood glue, and with a picture frame clamp used on it, I tightened it all up. Now while I wait the glue to dry, I decided to create a holder for these triangles. This is going to be just a offcut of a dowel at an angle on a piece of scrap wood. You see me drilling at two holes here. One of the holes is to hold the dowel and the other one is actually just a fixing point to attach the whole thing onto the wall or on the cupboard. Next, it's time to fill these edges in. So I applied some masking tape and then applied CA glue on it. I used the black color and I should have probably used the transparent or the brown one. But anyway, since I had the black one open, I just used it. So 5 minutes after it dried, I used my random orbital sander. And I quickly realized it's going to take a lot of time, so I used my other oscillator sander and sanded it all smooth. Next, all that's left is to give a round over on all the edges, the inside edges, the outside and at the bottom part. And now all that's left is to put some finish, and for that I used 3 coats of Danish oil. And with that, the build is done. Now it's time to take this to its final destination and see how it all looks together. I hope this video was useful or exciting or entertaining, and if you like it, please do give me a like and let me know down below in the comments. So thanks for watching and see you all in the next one. Bye.